Hello and welcome to the next lecture. Today we're going to speak a little bit about the Neo4j. So the Neo4j is a graph database. So you can create a graphs, you create a node and link them together, whatever you like. And the best example will be the Facebook. So you have a friends, the friends have a friends, and so the friends in the third level can be a friend with you. So it's like a closed circle. And so there is like just graphs goes around the friends all over. So let's create a project and the Quarkus main plugin one-to-one create tech now Neo4j. For you, probably you'll use already 1.3.0. So the artifact ID is a Neo4j, tech now book resource. We'll do the books again as well. So we have a Neo4j and REST easy JSONB for this lesson. So the Neo4j is a library, of course, and REST easy JSONB is the JSONB extension for REST easy, right? So we created a project. So let's start a Neo4j instance, right, via Docker. So make sure that your Docker up and running, and we'll have a 2 ports 7474 and 7687 for the UI. The Neo4j out for the normal image will be a Neo4j and then secret. And yeah, so let's start it. Probably will take a little bit of time, but we changed the password for Neo4j itself, and it's starting. And yeah, so it started, as you can see, both enabled on 7687 and remote interface available at 7474. So we actually can go to 7474, sorry. And you can see that you have an UI here, connect to a Neo4j password. So we can put a Neo4j secret here, connect. And so we'll be connected to our instance here, so you can do whatever you like here, but we won't touch it at all. So let's actually open up our project in IntelliJ. All right, so once we opened our project, let's go straight to the resources, application properties, and let's put some keys here which will be used for the authentication. So we have the URI, right? So we put the localhost 7687. Here we have the Bolt protocol, and then we have an authentication username and password, which we specified previously. So I would actually remove this lines. I don't like them, so let's use it as is. And let's go to our folder, right? So let's create, firstly, of course, let's create a data class called book, as always. And here we'll have a private string. So we have a title, right, and private string pages, right? So actually it's integer, but yeah. So we will also create the empty constructor, as always. Create field constructor, and let's create a getters and setters as well. So now, as in previous example, we'll create a public a static method, public static book from, and we'll have here a node from the Neo4j Java types. So you'll have a node here like this, and so we'll need to create a new book here, right, like this. And then book set title, we'll put a node, and we should make it a little bit larger, and here as well, so you can see it, and the resource as well, so I'm gonna forget it. Okay, so title would be node get, and then we have for example title, right, as string here, and then we set the pages as well with the pages like this, and let's put it as int like this. So, and return the book, of course. So this is super easy way to get the and decode our node to the book. And next, what we want to do is let's create a service. Let's go to the resource and let's inject a driver. So we use a driver to connect to our Neo4j instance. So this is like a driver, and we'll use a completion stage to get completion stage of a book. To get the book itself via the get method. So let's put produces media type application JSON as always. So here we want to get a session. Let's do the async one, and so you can, let's get it as an instance. And so now with the let's make it session for the clarity, to make it a little bit compactor. So now what you can do is you can run async, and here you'll specify a string. So this string will be a cipher, which they call the this semi-SQL like language. So you need to specify what you want to get from the as a query from the Neo4j, right? So let's use it. Let's match the book like this, right? So we have a book, return B, and let's order by B title, right? So we'll do it like this. So we have a title there. Then now we can call then compose. Then we have as I think it's what did they return? We have cursor, so you can call a cursor here, and so you can call cursor list async, and here you can get node itself. So now you need to return back. So you have actually you have a record, but whatever, right? So you have a record and you want to return a book. So this is super easy. So you call it. Let's open up brackets. So you want to have a book from, and then you call a record get b as node. So you want to do it like this. Now you have a book itself. You can actually, I think, close it up like this. So you'll return the book, and you can wrap it up again with the if you remove the lines here. So you have a cursor list async record, and then you convert to books. So now when you call it then compose, you'll actually have a books here. Now you can do with books whatever you like, but it's a good idea to close this session here, close async like this, and now you can call the, for example, then apply a response okay like this. And yeah, and the last thing, what we have the, okay, so we need to, I think we can do it like this, because we return the void here. And now we apply, so we created so as you can see, we use a response okay, and in the body we put the books here. So you can see that we have so we also want to call then apply, and then you have something called it, and then you want to return the books itself, so like this. So we do it because we don't do anything with the, this is like a let's say hotfix or something like this, because you call the then compose, you have a books here, you don't do anything with them, but you just want to return call the then apply, and you just return the books itself. So books will go through the chain back to the then apply for us, yeah, we call then apply response okay, and then we call then apply response builder build. So basically we put into the okay books itself, and then we call then apply build. So this is like this, and of course we return everything here, and we actually need to return the response actually, because we use the response inside of the then apply, right? So now it's ready. It won't give us anything right now because we don't have anything. So let's create a post method, right? So let's create a post method, public completion stage response as well. Put add book, right? Something like this, and we'll have a book here. Like so, we do basically the same stuff. We get a session as a session here, and let's call session write transactions async, right? So we'll get a transaction via the lambda. Here you can call the run async, and here you need to specify query. So we'll specify create the book, and here we'll need to specify title and title like this, and return b like this. So now we need to specify values as well, so you can see here like this. So we use values parameters, and we put here title. So I need to put here book title, right? Set title, get title, sorry. And we also need to specify actually the pages as well that we have. So we need to put pages and pages like this. And so inside we expect to have a OR map of value. So we can specify parameters as is. So we can put for example pages, right? And then book get pages like this. So this is example on how to put few parameters. So we have two parameters right now, title and pages like this. And then we call then compose, where is it? Then compose. So we have a function here, right? Function single async, and we are ready for this part. Let's continue with the after we write the transaction, right? So we prepared the transaction. Now we can go back to the session. So after the transaction is finished, we'll receive the book itself, the record. So you can create it, then apply, and then you have a record, right? And the record will hold the, so we can call it book from, and then you have a record get b as node, as it was previously, right? Now we need to close our session, of course. So I have here book, book one, okay. Let's created book, and then the book will be so we need to session close async, then apply. So we need to specify so we have here something, right? And then we need to give back a create books like this. So now we want to apply, so we have a book here, right? Created book. So we can actually call the response okay, and then again apply, response builder build like this. So this will work as well, and we return it to our request, right? As a response, sorry. So yeah, so shortly what happened here is that we run the transaction like this, create the book title, is title, pages and pages, and then we return the book itself back. So we specified what the we insert, and then we give back the transactions to here. So the result basically, now we apply some actions so we convert the node into the book, sorry, and we close the session and return the book itself as a response, right? So nothing special, just the two methods. So let's try to use it, of course. So let's go to Postman, and we have a /books. Let's see if it's correct. Yes, it's correct. So let's post. Actually, we need to consume as well, consumes media type application JSON. We also need to start our Quarkus server as well. So let's call maven Quarkus dev, and now after it's started, we expect to have the, okay, you can see that we have direct driver instance created for server address, and let's go to our Postman and let's post one book, right? So you can see that we returned back the book itself, and let's get the books, and you can see that in the get we have a book itself. So let's create another one, 144 for example, right? And we get the books, and you have two books in an array. You can also go to our Neo4j browser, and I think we can specify so we have a node label books, and you can see that we have two nodes here, one of which test244 and then test243. So okay, so now you know how to use an Neo4j with Quarkus. So everything that you need to do with them should be, for example, you can run a sync for such transactions as match, and you can use the right transaction sync to create something. And yeah, so that's a simple example. I'll put the links as well into the description for the cipher language which is used here. It's pretty straightforward, and yeah, and some parameters that you can specify for the Neo4j in settings. So now you know how to use Neo4j. I'll see you in the next lecture.